And welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting a possible 3 walks at Winsford Marina. Now you can park on the car park and the marina itself's quite interesting. We can see the amount of wildlife we've got here, mostly Canada geese, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 swans there. But there's some behind me as well. So we do get a lot of boats here because they've got a free parking. There's another swan coming here. They're just launching this boat into the river. You can get all sorts of water sports here, canoeing, paddle boarding, and God knows what. So we've got 3 walks, or 1 big long walk. So we're going to start with Rickshaw Meadow. Never heard of it, have you? Let's show you where it is. So there's the car park, and in this far corner, if you didn't know about it, you'd probably never see it. Oh, Rilshaw, not Rickshaw. Close, wasn't it? Rilshaw Meadow. So it's down this nice, covered with trees walk, and lots of fishing in the area. Nice warm day, it's nice and cool down here. The covered walk does take quite a distance, so it's nice and cool in the summer, and then we come out to a bit more an open area. The path is, I don't know if we're disabled, if you're in a wheelchair it is pretty solid, but it could be challenging. As you can see, there's like a row of stones down the middle for some reason, best known to itself, and it can be quite narrow. We do have fishing, so you can go down and fish. There's quite a few fishing spots. There's also quite a few seats on the area. It's a massive flash. You know, we've got 2 little roads. You've got a higher one and a lower one. They all end up at the same spot, but one's higher, one's lower. Fairly sort of obvious, isn't it? We start to see the actual flash, and it's a massive flash. And we're going into another sort of little wooded area with a little bridge. And it's ideal, you know, if it's a really hot day, which today is. Well, it's early in the morning, but you want to come with the dog, it's nice and cool for the dog as well, and then they can go and have a bath in the flash. So quite a nice little well kept step, and then we'll start to see the flashes. Quite cool under here. I keep going, it's still under cover. Another little bridge. And this one has a sort of a purpose. You can see the little stream. Now you can sort of go in there if you want. You do tend to get sort of foxes and quite a lot of wildlife there. It doesn't go very far, but it is a nice spot to explore. Then we actually then come to the actual meadow itself, another little fishing spot. So it opens out now into the meadow. Now there's a car park up here, you can get to that if you come off the main road. Instead of turning into the car park, if you turn right and then right again, there's a little car park. This is loved by dog walkers. It's nice and shallow here. The dog can get in. It's one of 2 spots like that for the dogs to go swimming. Again, the path's not bad, but it's not cut back, so it can be challenging if you're in a wheelchair. Again, another little spot, it's a bit green there, but the dogs can get in there. 2 swans there. Still nice and shaded. You never know what wildlife you're going to find down here, because there's no cormorants. Herons are quite common. I've seen as much as 30 grebe at some time. There must be a lot of fish in here. Grebe will only take the small fish, but the cormorants are sort of permanently here. Now opens out a bit and we've got the actual meadow. So quite a big space for the dog to run about. Once again, another little spot for the dog to get in. I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting wildlife wise. There's lots and lots of swans, gulls, Canada geese. We always get Canada geese no matter where you go, don't we? I can't see anything else at the moment. Well, we're actually at what you might call the meadow. So we'll just have a scan round. It's quite a big area. If you're coming with your dog, plenty of room to throw the ball and chase around. There's quite a few seats about, so you can sit down. They have actually ruined it, because you used to be able to walk by the water, but they've just let it go to rack and bloody ruin now, apparently. They're just talking to this local man. He said it's for years you've been able to walk by that water. But good area if you're coming with a dog. Well, there's one little path here. Now all this you used to be able to walk through. I'm getting tapped by the weeds. There's always good wildlife here because it's a bit sort of shaded. Just about make out some coots over there. I think there's some moorings there. What a crying shame, because for years we've come down here. Well, it's a bit strange here, and it happens every year. If we can sort of see it on there, these trees covered in like the cobweb of these moths and things. It's quite extensive. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, that, but it's been like that for years, how they sort of totally cover the tree in this sort of web. Well, we're back at the marina car park. All the swans have come back. You see, you can go around the other side. There's seats there. if you wanted a bit of lunch. So now that was about 2,000 steps, so now we're going to head along the river walk. So we go under the bridge along by the river. The boat just sailing away down the end there. Oh, they've rather spoiled this because it was quite well graffitied, but now it looks as though they attempted to paint over it, and it was sort of a reasonable graffiti, more street arty than, you know, Fred was here type of thing. So it's a short walk and then we have to cross the road to carry on along the river. So I've crossed over the road and then we come to the Red Lion pub and the hot spot to carry on the rest of our journey. There's two options here, so two separate walks, or one longer walk. One is the high road, which is up there, but we'll come back that way. What we're interested in is going that way along the river, and then we'll come back in the woodland. So really there could be two walks. You could walk along the river or you could walk in the woodlands, depending what you feel like, or you could, as we're going to do, both of them. So this takes us down to the river. There is a sign that tells us all about what it is, where it is and why it should be. And very often you get a heron, but he's not here today. Very often sits in the bushes over there waiting for his dinner. So we'll head up down by the river. Must be the name of a song, that, somewhere. We've got another sign of the history of the waterfront, because a lot of it will be salt, won't it? There's a lot of salt in, well, there's still the main salt factory in Winsford. Got a little gate here, so we'll head off through the gate. You see there is little woodlands off to the side there if you wanted to go exploring. On the right we come to an open area, and they seem to have a way of sticking bloody big stones as seats around here. Well, this is a bit of a wildlife area. Very often you see a lot of rabbits here. So the river's just behind that lot. And the dog can have a bit of a run there. So walking along down the path by the river. Now this should be okay for anybody in a wheelchair. It's just a tarmacked path. Another big stone. It's actually a good idea, isn't it? Because a bloody big stone there, you're not going to smash that up, are you? You know, if you put seats, kids can smash it up or whatever, but you ain't going to do that. Now to that. It'd perhaps be nice if they cut some of the weeds back so you could actually see the the river, but we come to a more open spot in a minute. We now come to another open spot. This is all part of the Weaver Way and Weaver Valley Parkway. There's plenty of nice yellow weeds. Now if you go in the woodlands, you would come out here or go in here. So what we'll do, we'll go along the river. We might have a sit on one of these big stones again. And then we'll go back up that way. That's the woodland. That takes you to Morrison's. Another thing, if you wanted to, say, to go to Morrison's, one of you wanted to go shopping, the other one wanted to get the bored kids so much to do, you could just pop down into the woodlands or by the river. And they have these two strange seats. Well, we're assuming they're seats. There's a bit of a bay here where the dogs can actually go in. Another stone over there. Now the path changes, it's a very narrow path, so if you're in a wheelchair, the path going to the woods seems a lot better. We do come back to another shaded area that goes on quite a way. And the main thing here is the rocksalt mountain. Now if I can hold steady, we say there's always wildlife here. If we can just hold steady, it's a big zoom. Here's Mr. Heron. Just like to prove me right that there is actually wildlife here. So all that behind that colour is all rock salt. It can look quite magnificent in the autumn when the colours are right. Of course, Winsford is a massive rock salt producer. Again, there's little trips into the wood if you want to go exploring. We're actually next to the river now. I just wondered why that woman ran into the woodland, because it's very muddy here and wet. Oh, we made it. So again, lovely on a hot summer's day, because all the way down here it's all shaded. So still on the path by the river, some big daisies. Quite a few people fishing, and the path has now improved again, so if you're disabled you're alright down here. So it's just that little glitch where you've got to go across that open area where it's challenging. When you think in this day and age, be access to disabled everywhere, wouldn't you? Because it's not bad, it's just that one little bit that lets it down, but if you're in a wheelchair and you can't get it, it doesn't help. Another seat, so there's plenty of seats around if you want to have a rest. See the river a bit better. Oh, you can see the fish jumping. It's always amazing, you come along here without a camera and you can see grebe, you can see God knows what. You get a camera in your hand, everything disappears. Well, there is a lot of wildlife, I can assure you. We can just make it out, another heron And he's having a right old feast there. He's got some big fish or something. See, he did tell you there's wildlife. I think he's had his food now. He's having a chew or something. Quite a distance away, that's why I'm shaking quite a lot. I'm just lucky to spot him. He just popped his head up. The two come now to a quite steep bit, so if you're in a wheelchair you're now knackered, aren't you? I wouldn't like to. Coming down might be interesting, but going up, even a couple of young people on bikes have just given up. It is quite steep. You definitely won't make it in a wheelchair. You can have fun if you're adventurous and shoot off these logs coming down. Another extensive woodland. There is paths you can see there into the woodland. And we've got a dog come to see us. Now you can go into the woodland, and I can't make out what they're for, but there's a blue and a red. So presumably that's some sort of path. But again, we're under cover of the trees if it's nice and hot, and it sort of dips down and it goes up again. I mean, if you've got a dog, just go crazy in this woodland. And up we go again. And when it's the top of the hill, there's another path off to the right that takes you to Morrison's. And it now levels off a bit now before we actually dive down. Again, the paths are alright now. We're now up at one of the high points, and there's a nice little seat here. Nice sign. There's another path there. And you get a good view of the river and the surrounding works. You can just about see behind there the more rock salt. Well, it's an ideal place to stop and have a butty. It's like a lot of these places you can go and you can, spend all day getting lost. Well, I work for Google Maps, and I can assure you, if you get lost, Google Maps will find your way home, because I've been lost in Delamere Forest and used Google Maps to get me out. So top tip if you get lost. So we're now going down again. A bit of a bumpy road. And we do come to a spot where we can see even more rock salt. I mean, this is a massive rock salt blue. If I can go down without breaking my neck, this little waterfall, it's if you want to sit here, lovely sound that is. I'm not sure where it's coming from and where it's going to, but it is a lovely sound. Got more of the rock salt, and it is a massive mountain of rock salt. It varies what time of year you come, because what they'll do is get all this rock salt out now ready for winter. So when winter comes, this can go down like Billy Whiz. So I've got tons and tons and tons of it ready for the winter gritting. There's another little trail off into the woodlands here, so if you wanted to explore the woodlands, there is a reasonable sort of path. We do have what looks like a load of fly tipping, an old bike and other rubbish chucked away. What's a nice little woodland walk. A few steps further and we do come to a nice lake. Ooh. Nice peaceful lake. There's usually swans on here unless you've got a camera, in which case they're not. We've got some lilies down there, or a lily. There is a walk round the lake, so you can walk up there. We do have a few whackbacks. Ducks to you and me on the river. So it's quite wide, the river here. See the rock salt. So if you carry on down this path, you've got this lake on your right.
Morning.
You alright? Late for work again? Jogger. So we'll head back into the woodland, but you can, if you want now, carry on. And there's a little rickety bridge a bit further on where you can, if you come off the main roundabout where we go for the marina, you go straight across and come down, there's a little parking place down there. But then you can, if you want, walk all the way to Northwich. So it's a massive walk if you want to really push yourself. Well, if we start walking to Northwich, it'll be a massive video, so we'll head back and have a look at the woodland now. One thing perhaps worth mentioning, there's like thousands and thousands of black currants on that path. So if you want to come and get your supper, there's plenty to choose from down all the way down. Well, we're back at that open space where we came as we came in. So now we're going to head up towards the woodland. The bit we've just done down the river is about 5,000 steps. And the woodland is massive, you've seen it all the way along, so there's a fair few bloody weeds here, all yellow. I mean, once again the path's okay for disabled. And we do come to a crossroad. Now if we go that way, it brings you out where we've just been, where we went up and there was a turning to the right, that brings you out there. Another big stone. I don't know where they keep getting these big stones from. So it's a massive woodland, so we can only give you a brief overview of it. So we'll head off into the woodland. As we get to the top of the hill, there's paths everywhere. You can go off there, which we'll go that way in a bit because that brings us back to the pub on the high road. But we can have a look at the woods. You can see there's paths sort of leading off if you want to go with dog. Another big stone. Must have bought a job lot of these. Rubbish bin in front of us, which is always handy. So again, ideal for dog out if you want to lose the kids. Nice and shady on a hot day. So it's just so much to see. We can only give you a small glimpse of it. I just wish they'd make signs on these crossroads, because like a crossroad here, well, there's no sign, so if you don't know the area, where the hell are you going? Now there is these green starshine, I don't know what that's supposed to be about. There's a path down there, there's a path here, more stones. If they just put signs telling you where you're going, it would be a big help. You get him telling me a forest and it's the same, you see a sign and then that's the last one for miles. So again, we can see paths into the woodland. Now we're virtually at Morrison's now. Just through this opening here, and then on the right is Morrison's. So you could park in Morrison's and come here. Now you do get a lot of bluebells and things here in the spring. So a nice open patch. There's a little pond in this section. More weeds. You can't see for the trees, but literally Morrison's is just behind them trees there. So say you could go shopping one of you and the other one bring the kids and wear the kids out down here. So there's plenty of woodland track down here. You can't really go too far because it just goes on and on forever, and we'd end up back where we just were at the end of the river. I mean, there's some fair old trees down here, and so they're not signed these paths, so you never know quite where you're going to end up. Well, again, you come to sort of an opening with paths here, there and everywhere. A magnificent tree in front of us. That's a fair old tree, that is. And there's more paths off at the side of it and everywhere. So it's really, you've got to come and explore this, because there's so much going on. Oh look, another big stone seat. Well, this takes you sort of deep into the woodland. You see everywhere you go there's paths of various qualities into the woodland, and there's another one sort of a bit rougher there. More blackberries and things if you want. And that's the path we came in from the river, and we'll now go the opposite way. This will take us to the high road that we saw at the beginning. Some more of these silly signs, but don't know what they're supposed to be. Again, there's paths off there. This is the main path. Depends how adventurous you are. You can just go off these little paths and get lost forever, really. Well, it's a lovely place to take the dog, and it's not a bad day today. It's been too bloody hot, so it's reasonably bright, but not sweaty hot today. Plenty of weeds, yellow flowers, whatever you want to call them. Another seat. That's ideal for the dog. You can throw something for him in there and they can go running and doing zombies and God knows what. Even on the high bit, it's plenty of places for the dog and run about or whatever. There's sort of woods, would you call it a wood, would you? Trees anyway, there's lots of trees about where you can go and explore, dogs can explore. Just white flowers everywhere you go. Again, the path probably disabled, you could use it, but I mean, it's a bit stupid, isn't it, where they have the path that disabled can use, but you can't get to it because of one little section that you can't get across to get to the decent path. And this doesn't make a lot of sense. We've got the nice path there, and we've got a nice mown path here. Why they bothered putting that one in if they're going to have this one? Again, lots of trees everywhere. You can go and have a look. If you're looking for insects, you'll probably find hundreds of the damn thing. I don't know if they play nice, but we said lots of insects. Bloody bees and everything until I stuck my camera at them. Any more? I just catch some of them flying. All sorts of insects of all sizes and descriptions. They just don't want to stay very still. Well, there is signs, the Weaver Parkway, come and join the ranger for his cup of tea, help to maintain it. So we now come back to the pub where, if we'd have come up, this is where we'd have come up. We've got a helicopter or something above us. Once again, there's a little path up there. Everywhere you go, there's paths. That again will sort of bring you out sort of Morrison-y way. And then we are back at the pub where we said if we went up, this is where it brings us back. So that sort of concludes the walk. I'm just trying to check the steps, which is, as usual, around about 10,000. Which again is roughly about 5 miles, give or take a step or two. Plenty more if you want to run. There's quite a few runners been about. So if you wanted, you just carry on to Northwich. You could spend half the day in the woodland and get lost in there. You could just do the little meadow, depending on what you want to do. There's plenty of choices. We'll catch you on the next one. It is worth just mentioning, we've just crossed over the bridge from the pub and there's another walk on the other side. You can just see the railings and it goes up there and it brings you out onto the other side of the meadow. It's another short walk if you want another short walk. Sometimes there's horses down there as well. And just back at the marina and just show you, if you like swans, it's a place to come. There's hundreds of them.